you ever wondered why some people can instantly connect with others while some struggle to express even simple thoughts? The secret often lies in the way they communicate. Speaking is something we do every day, but speaking effectively is a skill that can completely change our personal and professional lives. The way we talk influences how people see us, how much they trust us, and how seriously they take our opinions. Good communication is not about using difficult words or speaking for hours. It is about expressing your thoughts in a clear, respectful, and meaningful way that others can easily understand. One of the biggest mistakes people make in conversations is focusing only on what they want to say next. They are so busy preparing their response that they fail to truly listen. Effective communication starts with listening. When you listen carefully, you gain a better understanding of the other person's feelings, concerns, and point of view. This not only helps you respond more thoughtfully, but also makes the other person feel respected and valued. People naturally feel comfortable around those who genuinely pay attention to them. Another important part of communication is clarity. Many misunderstandings happen because people assume others can read their minds. They speak vaguely, leave out important details, or expect. Many people underestimate the impact that their attitude has on the way they communicate. The same sentence can create two completely different reactions depending on the attitude behind it. Imagine receiving advice from someone who speaks with kindness and respect compared to someone who speaks with arrogance and judgment. Even if the message is exactly the same, the way it is delivered changes everything. This is why successful communicators pay attention not only to their words, but also to the emotions they bring into a conversation. A positive attitude makes people feel comfortable, while a negative attitude often pushes people away. Another habit that can dramatically improve communication is learning to think before speaking. In today's fast-paced world, many people react instantly without considering the consequences of their words. They speak when they are angry, frustrated, or emotional and later regret what they said. Words cannot be taken back once they are spoken. A few seconds of thinking can prevent misunderstandings, damage relationships, and unnecessary conflicts. Before speaking, ask yourself whether your words are true, necessary, and helpful. This simple habit can transform the quality of your conversations. The ability to control emotions is also a key part of effective communication. Everyone experiences anger, disappointment, and frustration, but emotionally intelligent people know how to express these feelings without hurting others. When emotions take control, communication often becomes destructive. People stop listening and start defending themselves. Instead of focusing on solving the problem, they focus on winning the argument. Learning to stay calm during difficult conversations allows you to express yourself more clearly and increases the chances of finding a solution that benefits everyone involved. Confidence is another factor that greatly affects the way people communicate. However, true confidence should never be confused with arrogance. Arrogant people try to prove they are better than others, while confident people simply believe in themselves without needing to put anyone down. When you communicate with confidence, your words carry more weight. People are more likely to trust your ideas and respect your opinions. Confidence comes from preparation, experience, and self-belief. The more you practice expressing yourself, the more natural and confident your communication becomes. One of the most powerful communication skills is empathy. Empathy means understanding and appreciating the feelings of another person. Instead of immediately judging someone, empathetic communicators try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. This creates stronger relationships and reduces unnecessary conflicts. When people feel understood, they become more open, honest, and willing to communicate. Empathy helps build trust, and trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. They encourage others to share their thoughts and experiences. Instead of dominating every conversation, effective communicators create opportunities for others to contribute. This makes conversations more engaging and meaningful for everyone involved. Another common mistake is trying to impress people rather than connect with them. Some individuals constantly talk about their achievements, knowledge, or experiences because they want admiration. While confidence is attractive, excessive self-focus can make conversations feel one-sided. People generally enjoy conversations where they feel heard and appreciated. Building genuine connections requires balance. Share your thoughts, but also show interest in the thoughts of others. The goal of communication is not to prove how important you are. It is to create understanding and connection. Respect is one of the strongest pillars of effective communication. You do not have to agree with everyone, but you should always treat people with dignity. Disagreements are a natural part of life. Different people have different opinions, experiences, and beliefs. Mature communicators know how to disagree without becoming disrespectful. They focus on ideas rather than personal attacks. They listen to opposing viewpoints and express their own opinions, calmly and thoughtfully. This approach not only prevents unnecessary arguments but also encourages healthy discussions. Another important aspect of communication is consistency between words and actions. People pay attention not only to what you say, but also to what you do. If your actions constantly contradict your words, your credibility begins to disappear. Trust is built when people see that your behavior matches your promises. Effective communication is not just verbal. It is demonstrated through reliability, honesty, and integrity. When people trust your character, they are far more likely to trust your words. Many successful leaders, entrepreneurs, teachers, and public speakers have one thing in common. They know how to make people feel important. They remember names, show appreciation, acknowledge contributions, and treat others with respect. These simple habits create positive emotional experiences that people remember for a long time. Communication is not just about exchanging information. It is about creating feelings, building relationships, and influencing others in a positive way. The truth is that communication is a lifelong skill. No matter how good you become, there is always room for improvement. Every conversation teaches something new about people, emotions, and human behavior. The more you practice listening, understanding, respecting, and expressing yourself clearly, the more powerful your communication becomes. Over time, you will notice that people enjoy talking to you more, trust you more, and value your presence in their lives. And that is when communication stops being just a skill and becomes one of your greatest strengths. One of the most overlooked parts of communication is the ability to adapt your speaking style according to the situation. Many people use the same tone, words, and attitude everywhere, whether they are talking to a friend, a family member, a teacher, or a colleague. However, effective communication requires flexibility. A person who understands how to adjust their approach based on the situation is often more successful in building relationships and avoiding misunderstandings. Knowing when to be formal, when to be friendly, and when to simply listen is a sign of emotional intelligence and maturity. Another powerful communication habit is learning the art of simplicity. Some people believe that using complex words makes them sound smarter. But in reality, the best communicators are often the simplest speakers. Their message is easy to understand because they focus on clarity rather than complexity. Think about the people whose words inspire millions. Most of them communicate using simple language that anyone can understand. The goal of communication is not to impress people with your vocabulary. It is to make your message clear and memorable. Patience is another quality that greatly improves communication. In many conversations, people become impatient when others take longer to explain their thoughts. They interrupt, make assumptions, or rush to conclusions. This often creates confusion and frustration. Patient communicators allow others enough time to express themselves completely. They understand that every person thinks and communicates differently. By showing patience, you create a safe environment where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas without fear of being judged or rushed.